Let's go. We got a lot to talk about. We live.
Oh, we have on camera Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
Yes, right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.
What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? We are live. Evil Hodis, Techie, Ant, CBH, Sam, Neil, Josh, Ultimate, Big, Daniel, Tony, Mark, Curtis, ASAP, No Sag. What's up to everybody coming into the chat? You're coming into the chat. You have to give the stream a big thumbs up. We got so much news to talk about. Chris, what's up? Hey, Ed, Chris, yesterday I was running with like a 6'9" like center. I don't know if I'm gonna make a point guard first or big build. And if you do like a guard build, I might do like a small forward, something like that. But what's up, everybody coming into the chat? This is the 2K stream. This is a Nintendo Switch 2 stream. I already said to give the stream a thumbs up. And we will be giving away a Switch 2 console to a lucky subscriber. Shout out to Murr for sponsoring the giveaway. He said I can make a big if needed. We'll be good. I'll probably just make the build where I can do everything. So let's go. What's up to everybody coming into the chat? We got a lot to talk about. So much going on the internet. I don't even know where to begin sometimes, but you know what? Let's begin with my Twitter post about the PlayStation 4. Because there's still a lot of misinformation. A lot of people are saying that the Switch 2 is just a PlayStation 4. But it's like they didn't watch the Nintendo Direct. First, Mark with a $2 super chat. Let's everybody spam Mark in the chat. Show my guy some love. Mark. He says, let's go, bro. Fist bump to Mark. Appreciate it. 93, Neil, Evil Hodis, Big Man, Mike. Everybody spamming Mark. Ant with the Mark. What's up, man? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Mark to the Maximus, says Tony. All right. Now, there's still misinformation on the internet saying that the Switch 2 is just another PlayStation 4. This is what I tweeted out. Come on, man. Internet, y'all gotta be smarter than this. I said the internet is either extremely gullible or flat out dumb. How is the Switch 2 the same as a PlayStation 4 when the PlayStation 4 was not outputting 4K 60 frames per second games? Y'all go ahead, look it up. Tell me how many games on the PlayStation 4 are running at 4K 60 frames per second. How many PlayStation 4 games ran at 120 frames per second broken? How many games? Because broken is one of them people saying it's just a PlayStation 4. I gotta pick it broken. All right. How many PlayStation 4 games ran at 120 frames per second? It's like, it's not even hard to, just common sense. You can look at, if you saw the Direct, you saw Prime 4, 4K, 60 frames per second, 1080p, 120 frames per second. And I even have some facts to back it up. The PS4 Pro is capable of 4K 60 frames per second output, but only a few games are optimized to run at native. So only a few PS4 Pro games, much less the PlayStation 4. And it says it right here, while the standard PlayStation 4 cannot achieve 4K. The regular base PS4 can't run 4K. Paid is saying the PS4 couldn't even run Cyberpunk. What are y'all talking about? You're right, Paid. I don't know what the internet's talking about. I also posted this. No PlayStation 4 games were designed to run and that's at 120 frames per second. The PlayStation 4's maximum refresh rate is 60. The highest the PlayStation 4 can go is 60 frames, and the Switch 2 doubles that. So I'm not gonna harp long on it. It's just common sense. Make sure you follow me on X too. But it's just common sense that the Switch 2 can do so much more. And the crazy thing is, people are sourcing Digital Foundry as the source of PlayStation 4 is just the Switch 2 is just a PlayStation 4, when they didn't even say that. Y'all are taking what they're saying out of context. They were saying that if they're gonna do their video comparisons, that the generation of PlayStation 4 is a good comparison. Jester just subscribed. Shout out to Jester. You're in the running for the Switch 2 giveaway. But they even said that it can do so much more than a PlayStation 4. They said as far as just graphical features, speeds, they were listing so many other things that the Switch 2 can do beyond what a PlayStation 4 can do. So it's just the internet. A lot of just fake trolling. People just want to rage, get attention. So can we just, and it's going to be fun this generation. Once the games start rolling out and y'all start seeing how the Switch 2 performs closer to Xbox Series S, around, not even closer, because we already see games that is looking better than the Xbox Series S. Street Fighter 6, for example. How it's going to be closer to this current gen, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. I tell y'all, man, my expectations, Nintendo surpassed my expectations with what they were able to do. I didn't think it was going to be a 4K system, honestly. Because in my mind, I'm like, that's the graph, you have a handheld hybrid. Like, there has to be some concessions. But Nintendo is going all out, more power. This is going to be a generation of great looking Nintendo first party and most importantly third party games. All right, so that's it. We're done with that. Let's get to the news. The first one, it looks like Mario Kart World will be able to run, talking about frames, at 120 frames per second. Shout out to everybody coming into the stream. We're at 22 likes. I need 18 people. Let's double that. Let's get it to 40 likes. All right. This is coming from Eurogamer, this is one of the main places that mention, and a lot of people are sourcing them. But they did a breakdown of Mario Kart World, and one of the things they talked about was the frames per second. They talked about a lot more things, but let's check it out, and I'm gonna share my thoughts. It says Nintendo opened their Switch 2 Direct with Mario Kart. I'm telling you, when they started off with Mario Kart World and everything they were just showing like so quickly, I was like, oh man, this game is gonna be fantastic. And it is steeped in controversy, the $80 price point, but I think Nintendo has some surprises up. I have so many theories on this game for the 5 days. The Direct is in 5 days. I posted also on Twitter. Y'all gotta follow me on Twitter, bro. I got great theories. But on Twitter, this is what I also posted about Mario Kart. Where is it? Right here. Right here. No, not the image. The post. I said, I don't think it's a coincidence. Check this out. That the gliders in Mario Kart 8 World have been ditched for airplane wings reminiscent of Diddy Kong Racing. Notice now, there's no more gliders. It's actual airplanes. Part of this adventure mode could include flying, not gliding over the open world map. Just imagine races from one point on the map to another in full out airplanes. The Direct in 5 days is gonna be lit. So, I have another theory. I don't think it's a coincidence that we now have airplanes instead of gliders. I really think we're gonna be flying in the open world, and that's gonna be revealed. There might be more dedicated water courses, more dedicated, and just airplane where there's holographic checkpoints, and we have like 2 flags we're flying through courses to different parts on the map. I really think that's gonna be a thing in this game. I don't think it's by accident. Panthorius, what's up? What's up, bro? All right, so Mario Kart World, according to Eurogamer, there is a 120 frames per second mode. Nintendo opened their Switch 2 Direct with Mario Kart World, a wide open racer that arrives 11 years after the last mainline entries in the series. And it is, as the Switch 2's premier launch title, it carries huge expectations. What can we learn about the game and its tech from what's been revealed so far? Before we get into Mario Kart World itself, I think a quick overview of Mario... Nah, we're not going to do a quick overview of Mario Kart 8. Well, yeah, it is worth noting just how more advanced the game is. The prior game... look, it says Mario Kart 8 runs at 720p on the Wii U and up to 1080p on the Switch. So each generation they bumped it up, but Mario Kart World just takes it to another level, not just with the resolution, but the graphical assets and what the game is actually doing. Both at high frame rates, which requires some key technical compromises. Chief among them is the extensive use of baked lighting. Most of the game's direct and indirect lighting is pre-calculated and stored in light maps and ambient occlusion maps. This performance-saving measure allows Mario Kart 8 to feature relatively sophisticated lighting, though its low resolution does stick out at times. It's talking about Mario Kart 8. All right, let me go to when they start talking about Mario Kart Tour. No, we're just because I think it all blends in. All right. Environmental details look great when moving at fast speeds, but the game isn't necessarily throwing a ton of geometry around, and it doesn't have super sophisticated materials either. Most surfaces appear pretty diffuse, with shiny and normal shaped surfaces in the mix as needed. Details in Mario Kart 8 is also fairly simple. There's no SSR, given the game's vintage with shiny surfaces instead of relying on rougher static cube maps. Water surfaces generally look quite transparent, even at steep angles too, likely for gameplay reasons. When we move over to Mario Kart World, let's go, Mario Kart World. The key innovation is its open world gameplay structure and larger 24-player races. I think those 2 features probably made it an exclusive in the first place. The fact that we doubled the character count, 24, I don't think y'all realize how much more RAM that's going to take. And open world. Open world games take up a lot more processing power. That's why many open world games run at slower frame rates, because you're calculating so many assets on the screen at one time. All right, players can seem free to roam just about anywhere on the map when not racing, and events have extensive off-circuit sections too, perhaps as a result of the grander scope. Some of the same rendering choices end up in World 2. Trackside, lighting still relies on a lot of baking. For instance, a large number of dynamic objects like flags and breakable light posts use real-time, and I noticed like there's a lot of objects that you could just hit on the side, like the rails, and they break off onto the track. Like there's a lot going on the more you look at the game. World apparently features some kind of real-time day-night cycle in weather, and times of day do change throughout races, but the position of the primary light source remains static. So even when the sun is low in the evening sky, the shadows are permanently set at a kind of mid-afternoon angle. Environments mostly look great when you're blasting through at high speed, though a closer inspection reveals very judicious placement of polygons. During free roam gameplay, where the pace of play is much more relaxed, some of these compromises become a little more noticeable. Perhaps this is engineered to keep level of detailed popping to a minimum. That's right, I don't see too much popping when you're playing the game, as level of detail shifts are fairly minimum and not very noticeable during gameplay. Interestingly, building interiors seem to have real depth and parallax. All right, Where is it talking about the 120 frames? It does mention it. Let me see. Producers. All right, he's talking about the game. All right, talks about. Oh, here it is. This is the meat and potatoes, y'all. All right. Beyond the game's core visual makeup, we should discuss the title's basic rendering parameters, and it shows us the resolution. In World's default visual mode in dot play, current media suggests a 1440p image in all my counts with TAA or temporal upsampling. So I think that's pretty good. And I've been telling y'all, man, as long as the games are 1440p 60 frames per second, games are gonna look good. And it seems like this game is open world game, 1440p 60 frames per second as the default visual mode. Default. Well, and I'm saying 1440p 60. Let me take that back because I don't know what the frame is. I'm just saying the resolution, 1440p. All right. It's a little hard to offer a precise sense of image quality, given that all the extended footage we have is ripped from Nintendo Treehouse playthroughs. So even the 1440p, it might end up being 4K, who knows? But I think it generally looks fine. Relying so heavily on backlighting minimizes aliasing gremlins in typical play. All the materials we have so far suggest a 60 frames per second refresh. So everything they've seen, 60 frames per second, which is maintained faultlessly. The game's photo mode runs at a more modest 30 frames per second. That makes sense. With photo mode where it's not gameplay. There's also apparently a 120 frames per second mode, though we don't have any capture of it at its moment. Y'all heard that? They're saying, facts. He's in the chat. He's giving away. I already announced it, the Switch 2 giveaway, Mario Kart World, plus the console and a 512 gigabyte Micro Express SD card on May 29th. We're doing it big, so shout out to Mer. Make sure you're subscribed. So I'm gonna just read this one more time. There's also apparently a 120 frames per second mode in the game. So just like it looks like Nintendo's gonna start doing like what Metroid Prime does, offer you different graphical options and frame rate options. Metroid Prime, you have two modes, 4K 60, which is the mode I'm going to primarily play on because 60 frames per second is good enough, or 1080p 120 frames per second. Now it looks like Mario Kart's going to have some kind of 60 frames per second mode and 120. What if it's 1440p 120 frames? If they do that, that's crazy. But I'm fine with the 1440p 60 frames. So if they do 1440p 60 frames, I think that's going to be amazing in itself. So Mario Kart World, the feature title for the Switch 2, the first game they showed when they revealed the console back in January, the first game they showed at the Direct at the beginning of this month, and this is a great showcase title. I tell you, when they first teased it for the short footage they showed in January, I was like, it looks good. It does look good, but I had to do a second look at it. I don't know what they did at this Direct. But as soon as they showed it, I was like, whoa, this looks crazy. Like you could see that this is a next-gen Mario Kart game. And so this is going to be a game in rotation throughout this entire generation. And I think the $80 sticker price is worth it, considering, because I know the value that I'm going to be getting out of this game. So 120 frames per second, something the PlayStation 4 could not do. So stop the comparisons already. All right. This next news item I thought was pretty interesting. Let's still talk about Mario Kart 8 and the $80 price point controversy. PlayStation's former CEO, Sean Layden, He talks about what's going on with this $80 price point, and he pretty much says, y'all are gonna complain, but these Nintendo games, the quality is so good, y'all are gonna buy it anyway. So just be quiet. That's what he's pretty much saying. It's funny listening to these CEOs after they leave these companies, because they are unfiltered. They just say what they really wanted to say, but they were confined because of PR. Like even Reggie recently posting those videos about Wii Sport and how he was key in making sure Wii Sport was a packing title. He showed, I just saw football fly by the screen. Hold on, look at this. Check this out. Let me rewind this. Did y'all see that? Watch this. Oh, that's a charging Chuck. He tossed the foot. Bro, there's going to be football hazards. The more I see this game, the more I'm just impressed by it, man. This is going to be a fantastic game. All right, so let's get to what Sean Layden says. There's a quote. This is coming from GameSpot. You want the content so bad, says former PlayStation boss on Switch 2 exclusive titles. One of the biggest talking points around the Switch 2 since its official announcement has been focused on the price of the console and its games. Some believe the prices are simply too much, and not too many people are complaining about the price of the console. I think it's the price of the games that more people are complaining about. Because after seeing the Direct and that the system is more powerful than everyone expected, everything ended up being about $50 more than we expected. Instead of $400, $450, and the Mario Kart bundle is $500, which I don't think too many people are complaining about the actual price of the console. Lake Show, what's up, bro? It's the $80, whoa, we've never seen a standard game for $80 since the 1990s. Now, I grew up in the 90s where Nintendo 64 cartridges were $90. So, nothing for me. All right. In an interview with Player Driven, former PlayStation boss Sean Layden said, Nintendo can charge what it wants for new first-party Switch 2 games because Nintendo makes compelling games. Lake Show with the $2 super chat. Mario Kart World is worth $80, period. Facts, Lake Show. Hey, I need somebody to spam Lake Show in the chat. Big facts. Lake Show with the big facts. That's right. It's worth it. Bro. Tony type Lake Show. Neil Lake Show. Let me read what Sean Layden said again. PlayStation boss Sean Layden said, Nintendo can charge what it wants for new first-party Switch 2 games because Nintendo makes compelling games. That's part of the reason why. And he's right. Like, where else you're going to get kart racers of this quality? Yeah, Sonic Superstars is trying, whatever that Sonic game is trying. Like, nothing is on the level of Mario Kart. Like, Nintendo gives us unique gaming experiences you can't get anywhere else. There's nowhere else you can get a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom-like experience. Nowhere else you can get something like Metroid Prime. Like, it's just unique to Nintendo. All right. It continues. Some people might perceive the price increase for a game like Mario Kart World at $80 as being hefty, Layden said. But in the end, people will buy it anyway. And this is his direct quote. If it's the only place where you can play Mario, then you get your wallet out and you buy it. He's spitting facts. He's spitting facts. He says, and Donkey Kong and Zelda. That first party exclusivity kind of mitigates the sticker shock, if you will. All of these price hikes because you want the content so bad. That's what he told IGN. He's saying, gotta pay for that Nintendo quality. Hey, that stick, I still got my sticker in my game room. Nintendo Sealer quality. It used to be on every game that Nintendo officially approved for their system. Because, and Nintendo games are known for that. Like, usually you don't have to worry about like game-breaking bugs and glitches. Like, I remember there was a time where so many games were being launched just broken, like not working right. A week later, you got to have like a patch that's the same size as the original game to fix it. But Nintendo just, the games are just quality. Like, you know you're getting a good product. All right. So that's what he pretty much said. He said, y'all going to complain about it, but then you're going to think about it. And you're going to be like, you know what? The game is so good. I'm still going to get it. Lake Show, another 2. Sonic Racing Cross World is fire, though. And my response is, have fun playing that by yourself, Lake Show. Hey, I ain't getting that game. It's going to be all about Mario Kart. Mario Kart. I am going to get other racers on the Switch. Like, I am going to get that Kirby Air. That's, there were 2 announcements in the Direct. Don't get me wrong. This past Nintendo Direct, everybody type Lake Show, Neil, Lake Show, Paige, Tony, Dion. Show my guy Lake Show some fun. This was the best video game presentation I've ever seen. So let me just get that out the way. There were only 2 hiccups that I sort of like, should have been included now. One, Bravely Default Remastered. I didn't feel that was a Nintendo Direct level announcement where it deserved its own spot. Like, that should have been in like a montage with the other third-party games. But they like set aside time to show a short trailer and Bravely Default Remastered. Fantastic game. But I don't think that was a Nintendo Direct of this magnitude for a new console reveal to have dedicated spotlight for that game. No. Maybe Square Enix, they did a deal with Nintendo because they're bringing Final Fantasy. Hey, give us another game to spotlight. But I didn't feel that should have had that time. The other announcement, Kirby Air Riders. I'm hyped for the game. It's just the timing. I felt like this is a game that should come 3 or even 4 halfway during this console life cycle. Not the same year. Because it's another racer. Not the same year, another kart racer. Not the same year as Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is going to overshadow it, I think. Don't get me wrong, still going to play it. And it does, at least the GameCube game had different modes, like a top-down racing mode, had sort of like a combat-like type mode. But at the core, it was a racing game. So those were the only 2 announcements that left me a little, but the Direct was amazing, bro. Amazing. If Nintendo can rinse and repeat, I can't wait for the next Switch 2. I can't wait for the next Nintendo Direct. That's gonna be crazy. This Mario Kart Direct in 1 month, we had 3 Directs, bro. This was crazy. This was epic. Thank you, Nintendo. All right. Layden, who worked at Sony for decades on the PlayStation team before leaving in 2019, went on to say that video game prices have actually gone down, and he's facts, generally over the years. In 2025 dollars, $60 in 1999 is equivalent to $100. Your purchasing power compared to your cost of living, it's much smaller now than it was before. But still, companies have been reluctant to push that price up, he said, adding that he thinks publishers should have charged $5 more for new games each new console generation. This is one thing we got to keep in mind. It's going to cost more to develop these games. More technology, larger development teams, more salaries you got to pay. It's just going to be more expensive. And so Nintendo's like, it costs to play. But here's the thing, we talk about Nintendo's business strategy, their business model, but they were the only publishers, console manufacturers last generation that didn't suffer massive layoffs. Both Xbox and PlayStation had to scale back studios, PlayStation canceled so many games this past gen, this PlayStation 5 generation. When was the last? Astrobot was the last exclusive. And when did Astrobot come out? While in the meantime, Nintendo's constantly feeding us first-party games, great content. So they know what they're doing. All right. He goes on to quote, "We're in a tough time at the moment." This is our direct quotes from him. "So why make it harder and have the bar eventually so high? Yeah, I was a bit upset about the price changes because Nintendo is a family game. Nintendo's a family genre. It's a family platform. Salim, someone else said. Who is Salim? All right. Oh, and video game developer Akbar Salim told Insider Gamer. So this is another quote from somebody else. For Mario Kart World, Nintendo defended the $80 price point by saying the game is a worthy upgrade over the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And people will understand this after the April 17th Direct. I see it now, but I think there's going to be more added in this Direct. Meanwhile, others have said Nintendo chose to price Mario Kart World at 80 simply because it can. And that's sort of what Sean Layden is saying. At $450, the Switch 2 is about $50 more than the original Switch with inflation factored in, but it's a much beefier system too. Nintendo management says the price hike is justified because the Switch 2 is a better, more robust console. Experts believe Nintendo will lose money on every Switch 2 it sells, which is common for console hardware, but not common for Nintendo. So they're saying even at the $450 price point, Nintendo still might suffer a loss on each console sold. Time will tell. It'll all be revealed probably when Nintendo reveals their first quarter financial results with the Switch 2 on the market. We'll see all that information. But the gist of what Sean Layden was saying is, yeah, y'all could complain about the $80 price point, but at the end of the day, you're still going to buy it because deep down you know it's going to be a fantastic game and you're going to have a great gaming experience. And all your friends are going to be playing it, so you're going to want to pick it up too. So it is what it is. I already know that the game is worth it, but others will see it. What's up, Brio? Hey. All right. Now, this next one, I have to show this. Images of the user interface. The user interface of the Switch. Specifically, eShop menu, Switch Online menu is circling on the internet. Oh, I have the wrong one up. Here it is. So, we gotta check out these images. This is an image of the Switch Online app. This is the Japanese version of the Switch, but you can get a general idea of how cool it looks. What if Nintendo has placed, because you know on the Switch, you have a separate app for each retro store, like Super Nintendo, NES, Game Boy, etc. Right here, it looks like it might be all in one app, and you just click on the different platform. Like right now, NES is highlighted, and underneath it lists all of the games under that library. That could be interesting if that's the route that they choose to go. I think Nintendo really needs to figure out how to condense some things. What do I mean? I also posted on X. And this post went crazy. It has over 7,000 just likes. I said, let me pull it up over here. And then we'll come back to this. I think Nintendo should merge their Nintendo Music app, Nintendo Today app, Switch Online app, Nintendo Parent Control app, all into just one app. And that's facts. I think Nintendo has too many apps. I didn't really get the Nintendo Today app. It looks cool and it's cool, but why have that separate from the Switch Online app? That should just be a section under the Switch Online. They should just have a Nintendo app. And all these should just be different menu items under one app. Parent control, that should just be a menu item under one app. This post had 187,000 views. And right now it's 7.9 thousand likes. So the whole internet wholeheartedly agrees Nintendo should be doing this. All right, so back to condense. It looks like Nintendo's merging something. But I think these images look cool. This is when you first click on the app on your Switch. You're greeted with this welcome. There's images at the bottom, similar to what we currently have. And more user face more information. I think this all just looks dope, dope, dope. Nintendo needs to learn to code, says Mer. I'm sure they got coders in their company. I get it. Yeah, they need to be better with it. But my big thing, as dope as this looks clean. I like it. I like it. I like when I turn on my system and things look fresh. My biggest thing is the lag. And I'm hoping that they fix the lag on this menu. That's what I want more than anything else. That it's just smooth. When you click on, it snaps and it just flows. I do not like how the eShop is just, not just the eShop, all of it, the Nintendo Online section, like when you go on everything is just laggy. But more powerful system, faster internet capability on this is something that's not been talked about enough. The Switch 2 will have faster internet. So that should also help with the response time when we go to these different servers. All right, so I thought that was dope. I thought that was amazing. But check this out. And this is might be a little controversial. Red, what's up? We're at 54 likes. 16 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 70 likes right now. This is a direct quote from The Verge, a media outlet, gaming media outlet. This is someone from The Verge. This is their direct quote. From the short demo I played, Donkey Kong Bonanza feels like a better Kongified version of Super Mario Odyssey. This is tough talk. He's saying that this game felt just like a better version of Mario Odyssey. Now, Mario Odyssey, fantastic game. One of the hallmark titles for the Switch for the entire generation. Bro, check this too. Bro, that looked amazing. Every time I see that. This 2D side-scrolling stage. Bro. I hope there's more than one stage of this. Like, I hope it's implemented frequently, at least 10. Give us at least just 10 stages. Some side-scrolling DK action. Look at how dope this looks, man. Now, this is classic Donkey. This looks like a next-gen, like the Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, etc., those type of games. You could look how much this graphically just looks better than those games. So, The Verge is saying, if you liked Odyssey, this game is even better than Mario Odyssey. So, I can't wait. This game looks amazing. It just looks like a next generation platformer, 3D platformer. Donkey Kong is an OG Nintendo mascot. That's facts, bro. You had Mario and Donkey Kong, but Mario was in Donkey Kong. They've been going at it since the beginning of Nintendo. So I thought that was controversial, and that's how it should be. It should be a better version of Odyssey. Why? Because every generation, every 3D platformer that Nintendo produces should be better than the previous one. They should learn and grow and make a better product each time. So I can't wait to play this game, and it's only 1 month after launch. So we're gonna be in that Mario Kart, having a great time, Mario Kart World, and we're gonna be playing Mario Kart World forever and ever and ever. But we're gonna also be on that Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I can't wait. Nintendo's had us. And I already talked about it yesterday, how I think the Switch 2 launch year is actually better than the Switch 1. And we're going to have a great, great gaming year. All right. Bro, we got to post this. Look at this. Obi-Wan talking about non-Nintendo news. Psych. because it's all related.
Bruh.
Bungie just gave us the first gameplay for Marathon. Their first-person shooter. I heard people were saying this. I don't know what it's reminiscent of right now because I haven't really paid too much attention to it. But it's set to launch. I think it's the fall of this year. And you already know what I posted. You already know what I'm posting. Let me see. Let y'all know what I posted. This is what I posted about this game. Bungie just revealed gameplay for Marathon. Confirm a Switch 2 version and I'll support it. Expectation this generation is a Switch 2 version of every major multi-platform game. That's right. So, this is going to be the year that I think Nintendo's going to get a lot of love. And just based on the footage that I've seen, this game shouldn't have any problems running on the Switch 2. And I do expect that this will more than likely be a Switch 2 launch. And here's my other expectation. It has to be day and date. No launching on the PlayStation 5 and then coming out on the Switch 2 2 months later. That I ain't buying it. Not buying any old third-party games. They have to be day and date. I'm giving the launch third-party games an exception just because the system just launched. Like Street Fighter 6, that's an old game, but I'm picking that up. I'm getting that on my Switch too. But other games, y'all gotta have them day and date as the other console. So that's right, we talking about these third-party games. Why? Because Marathon, they haven't announced what platforms it's gonna be on. They just said it's coming to PC and consoles. But wait, what did it just say about all? Did it just say all platforms? What did it say? September 23rd, 2025. Switch 2 is going to be in the market. Oh. Marathon. Watch the full trailer now. Wait. Wait. Oh, wait. Check this out. Coming out in September. Wishlist now on all platforms. All platforms. In September, all platforms include the Switch 2. Did they just confirm it's coming to the Switch 2? Because all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, will be out in September. So who knows? Maybe they just confirmed it. But I do anticipate that this will be a Switch 2 game. Villain with the $5 super chat. Can we chat more on how hype we are for the Switch 2 and not hear people complaining about price of games? Because they still buying the $80 games. Facts, Villain. And I already posted it. Nothing can stop the Switch 2 hype. This is going to be a fantastic platform. And I think that just the initial sticker shock, who cares about it? Who cares about the $8 price point? After this direct on the 17th, we're going to be good. I'm hoping, too, that they open up pre-orders. Wait, first, everybody that typed Villain in the chat. Tony, Red, Hodis, Mike, all type Villain in the chat. Shout out to Villain for the $5 super chat. Really, really, really appreciate it, my guy. All right. Villain. Everybody's typing Villain. Show my guy Villain some love. All right. So Villain, speaking of that, super hyped. This is what we're going to have the first year of the Switch. Great first party games. I just thought Metroid Prime 4. We didn't even get a release date for Metroid Prime 4, but that's coming this year. We're going to have a phenomenal first year. Mario Kart World. That alone is crazy. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Crazy. And Prime 4 the same year. 4K 60 frames per second. Crazy. Zelda. Age of Imprisonment. The Imprisoning War. Pokemon ZA. First party, crazy first year. Third party, crazy. Street Fighter 6. WWE, NBA 2K, Madden. Oh my goodness. Bro, this is the most hyped I've been for a console in a long time. Final Fantasy 7 and a smorgasbord of other third-party games. Third party is going to be amazing this year. And we got GameCube. On the retro front, it's also going to be amazing. We are going to have one of the best years in gaming ever. Fast Fusion. I just posted about this game. Whenever Nintendo decides to make an F-Zero game, a real F-Zero game, they better tap into Shin'en, the developers of Fast Fusion, and have them work on it. This game is going to look amazing running on the Switch 2. The stream doesn't do it any justice. More than likely probably going to be 4K, butter smooth frame rates. They just make great racing games, so I'm probably going to pick that game up too. A lot of good racers this first year too, man. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a great year for gaming. Hopefully it doesn't get shadows. What do you mean it doesn't get shadows? I don't know quite what you mean. But those are the news items I had for today. Saturday stream, shorter stream. Let's still a good size stream. We went almost an hour. But we're going to be back on tomorrow. More news, more fresh content, the latest on the Switch 2. I have y'all covered every single day for Switch 2. Fire. Where's my fire? Switch 2 fire. All right. What do you guys think about everything we talked about in the stream? Mario Kart 120 frames per second, Marathon, Switch 2 port, Donkey Kong better than Odyssey. A lot of stuff. Sean Layden saying, you complaining about the price, but you're going to buy it because you know it's worth it. Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things Nintendo. We out. Peace.
Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
That's right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.